What is up, guys? Welcome back to the Crew 2, and it's kind of insane that we're actually going to be on the last story that's part of the American Legends Season 9 update. Toji's team is going to have 8 steps here, similar to the previous one as well, and then of course the other two actually had 12 because they had cars, but nonetheless, guys, jumping right into this here, starting off with step number 1, the San Francisco Bay. Find the bay in Central Waterfront, San Francisco. So for the first step, you will have to head over to San Francisco to get this one started. So for this guy, San Francisco is obviously going to be on the left part of the map, aka the west coast, and luckily Central Waterfront is going to be insanely close by to the Bay Area sign. So when you guys do zoom in on San Francisco, you will notice the Bay Area sign right here, and Central Waterfront is going to basically be to the left, and luckily the location is going to be right here on the end of like this harbor type of area. So it really is going to be a pretty easy location to find, especially compared to some of the others, like trying to find a random spot on a mountain. But the fastest way to get to this location, though, guys, is going to be from this touring car event that's basically right down the street. And then moving over to step number 2, down to business. Travel from San Francisco to the beach near North Coast, north of San Francisco with any ground vehicle. So for step number 2, you will have to leave from the San Francisco area. So for this one, guys, I would recommend spawning over to the One Shall Remain Hypercar event. It's basically going to put you on the front of San Francisco. If you did want to, though, you guys could leave from the building that was in step number 1. I just found this to be a tad faster because it will save you like 1.5 miles. Do keep in mind, though, this is still going to be around 9.5 miles from this location. And luckily the north coast isn't going to be insanely hidden, so it's basically going to be on the left side of the map past Eureka. It's also going to be insanely close by to the Redwood Park. And luckily, guys, you will notice the beach over here by this big pier, and I would say that's probably the best landmark for this step. And then moving over to step number 3, lighter to drift faster. Travel from North Coast north of San Francisco to the garage in Historic District Sacramento with any ground vehicle. So for step number 3, you will have to leave from the North Coast area. So for this, guys, I would recommend leaving from the house and or the beach area that was in step number 2. I would probably say this is most likely going to be the easiest way to do this. Now, one thing I did notice, though, is Sacramento does kind of look far away. It's actually only going to be around 7 miles. And then moving over to step number 4, Hinata vs Jacob, Drift Duel. travel from Sacramento to the giant racetrack entrance north of San Francisco with any ground vehicle. So for step number 4, you will have to leave from the Sacramento area. So for this one, guys, I would recommend leaving from the garage that's in step number 3. Now, there is going to be a slight catch with this. So yes, the racetrack is insanely close by. It's actually going to be like less than 2.5 miles from Sacramento. Do keep in mind though, guys, you can easily put the waypoint on the wrong side. I was actually testing this out a few times, so it is going to be on this side of the racetrack, basically right next to this Alpha GP race. So if you guys do actually put it on the opposite side of the racetrack, you also cannot get in over here either. So it can get kind of frustrating and or a bit confusing with this one. I also did want to test this out by going into the touring car event over here, and if you actually do enter either one of these events, you guys will have to start back at Sacramento to get this one done, so I would recommend going to the right side of this one, and you guys can get into the track by the way by going on this side road here, and then you can loop in to get to step number 5. And then moving over to step number 5, speed and style. Travel from the giant racetrack north of San Francisco to the garage in San Francisco near Bay Area with any ground vehicle. So for step number 5, you will have to leave from the Giants racetrack. So for this one, I would recommend leaving from the entrance of step number 4. And luckily, you guys have to go right back to San Francisco. And there's going to be a garage you will be looking for here in the Bay Area. And luckily, it's not too insanely far from the Giants racetrack. And then moving over to step number 6, Ren vs. Tasha Drag Duel. Travel from San Francisco to the bridge west of Mazda Raceway Laguna Seca, north of Los Angeles, with any ground vehicle. So for step number 6, you will have to leave from the San Francisco area. So for this one, guys, I would recommend leaving from the garage that was in step number 5. I honestly found this to be the fastest way to do this one, and luckily it's only going to be around 8 miles to the bridge. And then moving over to step number 7, Hayato vs. Tio, Touge Night. Travel from Big Sur to the turn southeast of San Bernardino, east of Los Angeles, with any ground vehicle. So for step number 7, you will have to leave from the Big Sur area. So for this, guys, I would recommend leaving from this bridge that was in step number 6. And one thing I did notice as well, this is actually going to be the farthest step so far, being close to 12 miles away from this location. And then moving over to the final step is going to be Hawaii. Travel from Inland Empire to the bay in front of the Street Racing HQ in Los Angeles with any ground vehicle. So for the final step, you will have to leave from the Inland Empire area, which for this, guys, I would probably say the easiest way is to leave from the barn that was in step number 7, and then that way you can actually head to Los Angeles, which from here to the Street HQ is going to be around 11 miles.